There is no alarm, no warning sound, no final message, no last chance whispered in your ear. Time doesn't tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, pay attention. This is the last morning you'll feel this young. This is the last time this person will wait for you. This is the last day this door will stay open." It doesn't say any of that. It says nothing at all. It just quietly leaves. And one ordinary day, you look around at your life, and everything you kept postponing, every dream you kept saving for later, is no longer waiting for you. It moved on, without anger, without drama. It simply moved on. This is the story of a man who learned that truth, not in a classroom, not from a book, but from life itself, slowly, painfully, and deeply. This is the story of Ryan, 26 years old, living in a small apartment in a busy city. Not a bad person, not a failure, just stuck. He had a dream, a real one. He wanted to build something of his own, a small business, a brand, a life he could be proud of. He had a notebook on his desk filled with ideas, plans, and possibilities, pages and pages of potential. He had the intelligence, he had the time, he even had people who believed in him. But every single morning, he woke up, looked at that notebook, and chose the phone instead. Scrolled for an hour, watched strangers on the internet celebrate their wins, smiled at their success, and whispered to himself, "My time is coming." He truly believed that life had a special moment reserved for him, a perfect signal, a clear sign that would arrive one day and say, "Now, Ryan, this is your moment. Go." So he waited, patiently, comfortably, dangerously. At 26, waiting felt like wisdom. By 28, it started feeling like a weight. He watched his friends move forward. One opened a small shop, another got promoted, one got married and started building a home. And Ryan? Same apartment, same habits, same notebook, still barely touched. He told himself he was thinking deeply, planning carefully, waiting for the right time. But a quiet, honest voice inside him had started asking a question he kept refusing to answer. Ready for what, Ryan? You've been getting ready for 2 years. What are you actually waiting for? He had no answer. So he did what most people do when the truth feels too heavy to hold. He buried it under distraction. More scrolling, more sleeping in, more, "I'll start on Monday," more, "Let me just get through this week first." And time, without drama, without a word, kept walking forward, step by step, day by day, season by season. Never looking back, never slowing down, never once asking Ryan if he was ready. One quiet Sunday evening, Ryan went to visit his grandfather. An old man, gentle, peaceful, sitting in his favorite chair by the window, watching the street below with calm, tired eyes. Ryan sat beside him. For a long time, neither of them spoke, just the sound of the evening, just the light fading slowly outside. Then, without turning to look at him, his grandfather spoke, softly, like he was speaking to himself. "You know what truly breaks an old man's heart? Not the mistakes he made, not the falls, not the failures. Those you make peace with. What breaks you are the things you never tried, the doors you stood in front of and walked away from, because you thought they'd still be there tomorrow." He paused. Time doesn't knock twice, Ryan. It knocks once, very softly, almost like it's apologizing for interrupting you. And if you don't answer, it doesn't argue, it doesn't beg. It takes that moment and gives it to someone else. Ryan looked down at his grandfather's hands, wrinkled, weathered, still. Hands that held decades, hands that carried both pride and regret. And for the first time in years, Ryan didn't see an old man beside him. He saw himself. 30 years from now, sitting in that same chair, watching life move below him from behind a window. That image didn't just scare him, it shattered something inside him. He drove home in silence. No music, no podcast, no distraction. Just him and the truth he had been running from. He walked into his apartment, sat at his desk, looked at that notebook, and he opened it. Not tomorrow, not after a good night's sleep, not when he felt more ready. Right then, that night. And something extraordinary happened the moment he picked up the pen. The fear got smaller. The doubt got quieter. The excuses that had felt so loud for so long lost their voice. Because action does something that waiting can never do. It makes you real. It makes the dream real. It turns someday into today. He sat there for hours, writing, planning, starting. And somewhere in those hours, he understood something about himself he'd never admitted before. He was never lazy. He was afraid. Afraid of truly trying and still failing. Because as long as he never really started, he could always tell himself he still had potential. Waiting had been his shield, his excuse, his hiding place. But that night, he put the shield down. Here is the truth that Ryan learned, and the truth that most of us resist for far too long. Time is not sitting in a waiting room holding your dreams safely until you feel confident enough to collect them. Every single day that passes is a day that was yours, a day full of possibility, a day you could have used. And when you give that day to distraction, to comfort, to the endless cycle of not yet, you don't get it back. Not ever. The door doesn't stay open forever. Opportunities don't reschedule themselves around your fear. People who believed in you slowly stop waiting. The energy of youth doesn't negotiate. And the part that hurts the most, time never tells you it's leaving. There is no goodbye, no warning, no final notice. You simply wake up one day and realize the season has changed, and you are still standing in the same place, dressed for a storm that already passed. So let me ask you something. Right now, honestly, what is the one thing, the one dream, one goal, one step that you keep saying you'll begin when the time feels right? What is sitting in your notebook, in your heart, waiting for a version of you that keeps never showing up? Because here is the hardest truth of all. That version is not coming. You are that version, not the future you, not the more confident, more prepared, more ready you. You, right now, today. The clock is not your enemy, but it is not your cheerleader either. It is simply moving. Quietly, constantly, mercilessly. With you or without you. So move with it. Take one step today. Not a perfect step, not a brave step, just a real one. Because time doesn't wait for perfect. It only rewards those who begin. If this story stirred something real inside you, like, share, and subscribe to The Wise Path. Every week, we bring you stories that don't just fill your time. They make you feel what it truly means to spend it wisely.